Welcome to T-Bone's Best of Roanoke show. Music, comedy, and conversation featuring HB, the Honey Badger.
Honey Badger don't care.
Now, on with the show.
This is Radio Free Roanoke, and this is episode 174, T-Bone's Best of Roanoke show. HB, 8 months ago, February 2023, we interviewed this up-and-coming singer-songwriter from Chicago.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, here he is. He's back again, Dave Rudolf. Super Dave, how are you, sir?
I'm doing just great. I'm a neophyte to the business.
You're just getting started. It's a tough go, I know. Well, listen.
I know it's a rough business to be in.
It's not for everybody, Super Dave. Here's the thing, Super Dave.
A lot of people told me it's not for me either. So I don't know.
But to your credit, you didn't listen. You kept on rolling. So let's do this, my friend. I remember when you were here, we got to see you at 3rd Street Coffee House. Wonderful show. You played to everybody's interest. You have all kinds of genres. I call you a jack of all genres. And does that sound fair?
That sounds fair. I like all kinds of music, so I kind of I'm a audience pleaser. I try to do that. So.
And you did. And you've got a new album, Run from the Devil, coming out. So we want to get into that and talk about that whole process, because you got a lot of videos that I think they're different from what you've done before. But for people who have not been exposed to you and your ways, how would you self-describe Dave Rudolf?
First of all, your choice of expose is not a good word, I don't think, because that might I've been exposed to that. That sounds like I'm on a train station and with a trench coat. But for people who don't know me, I do all kinds of music, and I'm a singer-songwriter primarily. So I'll do all kinds of stuff because I'm fascinated by lots of different kind of genres. And I think a good songwriter will try his hand, even if he's going to fail miserably in that too. So I'll have a folk stuff. I will also have a beach albums, which has stuff that is very like reggae, soca, and Jimmy Buffett kind of styles. Then I'll have my newest album is an R&B album, which all stuff I wrote on that. Then I'll also have humor albums, like the Christmas parody albums are pretty funny. And I got all kinds of different albums. There's some rock stuff in there because I like to push myself as a writer.
And you've got a voice, Dave. I don't want to be blowing smoke here, but
thank you very much.
But you can cover all those and pull it off. Now, according to HB and my crack research staff, you've put out 44 albums. Does that sound right?
43.
43.
Why can't you get 44?
I'm working at now.
Efforting that.
And by crack, you probably meant in the head.
Yeah.
So the 43rd album is Run from the Devil. It's an R&B based, right. And it's got what, 13 or 14 songs?
16, I think.
Oh my goodness.
16.
And you wrote all of them except one, right?
One. There's a cover of the great old song by Buddy Miles, "Them Changes."
Them Changes. You did a nice job on it.
Oh, thanks. And it's within the confines of R&B. There's a lot of different styles. I go back to the old swing, big band swing, jazz kind of stuff of like the Big Bad Voodoo Daddies or Louis Jordan, that kind of stuff. Then there's a kind of barrel house piano roll in a song, and then there's some. I even have a funk song on there, which is really funny. Actually, the video is really funny for it. It's called Stank Eye.
Yeah, that was called Stank Eye.
Yeah,
video is all gifts of people giving people a stank eye. It's pretty funny. I recommend watching it. And then for songs like just all kinds of stuff. There's some kind of there's a song that I didn't even sing. I brought in Marsha Lynn Smith, who's a fabulous singer, and it's like an old Motown song, like a Supreme song. Yeah. So I did all kinds of various styles in the genre of R&B. There's some blues on there too.
I'll tell you, I listened to the whole album. I liked it, but there were 3 or 4 songs that stood out for me. One was "The River Keeps Rolling."
That's a gospel influenced one. Yeah.
Nice. And then there was one about love. It's a nice, breezy one. And then there was one called "Little Blue Riding Hood." Now, what's the story behind the story there?
Well, originally it was from a kids album of mine called Not So Grim Fairy Tales, and it's kind of like a fractured a fairy tale, or if you remember those things from the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. But
Yes.
it's about, it's like Little Red Riding Hood, only she's Little Blue Riding Hood, and she bums out everybody she meets. She's kind of nasty.
Like a Debbie Downer.
Yeah, it was kind of that thing. So, and it's done in a real down home blues kind of a thing too. So it's kind of fun because it fits in with the blues and blue. So it's all of a piece, so to speak. Yeah.
Well, it's a good one. I liked it. And then once you get into your videos that you did for this, let's talk about that for a bit. One of the videos is inspired by the 1927 Fritz Lang movie Metropolis. Yeah. Now tell us about your process on that.
Yeah, the song is "There's a Reckoning Coming." It's kind of a blues piece, and it's about kind of a rock blues, and it's about the wide gap in between the rich and the poor, and how the rich live up in these things. And if you've ever seen the Fritz Lang Metropolis movie from 1927, it's a masterpiece. It's amazing what they did, and it covers the same subject. So it's in public domain. So I thought, boy, it would be a good thing to pair that music with the song, and I think it works really well. The Fritz Lang movie, by the way, was the first one to have a robot in it. That was in 1927. It's the godfather of all science fiction movies. It also had a phone in it, a video phone in it too, which was so far ahead of its time, it's not even funny.
So the song Metropolis, that's a wonderful backstory for your video. I want to talk about another video that I liked a lot, and we're going to watch a clip from it here in just a second, but it's the title track, "Run from the Devil." And so before we get into that, I want you to give us a little background on that, but let's watch the clip now, a little bit of "Run from the Devil" video.
Some folks will go to the wild side. They take the road that is rough to ride. And when the world bump and collide, you get a pair like Bonnie and Clyde. They're gonna run. They're gonna run. They're gonna run. Run so fast away from the devil. They rob small stores and homes and banks along the roads they roam. They were quick to kill folks with their guns. Public enemy number one. They're gonna run. They're gonna run.
Now, that was a clip of "Run from the Devil" video, but it's Bonnie and Clyde. What's going on there?
It's a song about Bonnie and Clyde, actually.
Yeah.
And it's done in a jump swing, big band style.
Yeah.
And I actually used footage of old pictures of them and some footage from some old movies that were chase scene movies that were actually from that era and had cars of that era in it, even though it's not actual footage of them in the cars. But so I used that. I thought was appropriate on that. Now, some of the other videos are like the one for them changes is real trippy. I've been fooling around with some AI stuff, and those are really cool. There's one called Time for Some Changes, not them changes, but Time for Some Changes. And it's about changing, and it's like a watercolor that keeps moving and changing everything as it goes along. So it fits the song perfectly, but it's kind of pretty and it's kind of different. So I try to experiment. You're never too old to learn new things. That's the way I look at it.
And for all you people living in West Virginia, AI is artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
The people in West Virginia don't have any intelligence.
No, Dave, I did not say that because I'm from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you want, I can go slower for you.
Yeah, my man. All right. So to me, when I compared the new videos with the old videos, you know, you've got your singers there and your musicians, and they're very well done. But this process that you're doing now for your videos, are you doing that yourself?
Yeah.
And I did 17 of them for the last album too. For the traditional album, I did 17 videos for that, and I did all those too. Wow. That is almost more historical because I used a lot of, like, if I did the song on Bedlam Boys, I actually took paintings and stuff from about Bedlam Boys, about the Bedlam mental institution, which is where the term Bedlam comes from, is from that mental institution.
Oh.
Where is that institution located, and when did you get out?
And when did I get out? Well, I kind of escaped about 10 years ago. So I think it's in England, if I remember correctly. But, you know, the funny thing about that is that in the 1600s, that's been around forever. In the late 1700s, in the 16s, aughts or whatever they were, they used to charge people to come in and watch the crazy people. It was their kind of form of entertainment by that. So people would come in and pay to watch the insane people. So it's kind of barbaric, but
Gladiators in the Roman Coliseum.
Yeah.
Roman Coliseum.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead.
I was going to say the thing about gladiators, it's kind of a fallacy that they all died. They were kind of valuable things. So they didn't really, they would fight and they get hurt, but they didn't in general want them to be dead because it took a long time to train them and stuff. So
that's true. And you want to keep your best players available to play.
Right. Unlike the Chicago Bears, which is my team.
They play tonight, by the way.
Play tonight.
Yes, they do.
I know. I'm into S&M, so I'll watch them.
So you're doing most of these videos by yourself, and let's be honest, you weren't born yesterday. So how hard is it, Dave? I mean, how do you learn this by yourself? Or how's that go?
Well, you know, if you put your mind to anything, you can learn things. I mean, I built my own studio, and I pretty much do everything on my albums. I bring someone in to track the drums, but outside of that, I track everything and I arrange everything. I mix. I even do the artwork on my last 7 albums. So you learn stuff because you have more control of it too, and it saves you money in the long run. On the video front, I have visions of what I want to be done, and it's not always expensive or it's not easy to do it. And then with the advent of, there's another song on that I invite people to watch. It's called All That I Have, and it's kind of a slow blues thing. And it's really popping on the videos. They're getting a lot of cut. It's done in a film noir. It's all like pictures, like say from the Bogey movie or something like that. It's all black and white.
Right.
And every single picture in that is AI generated. So you have to learn how to prompt the thing to get what you want. But it's amazing what they can do. So
And
AI is kind of a weird thing. I won't use it for any music, and I won't use it to replace a musician because that's not right. But I didn't have a budget for videos, so I'm not really replacing anybody and taking them out of the workforce, if you know what I'm saying. Oh. So I feel it's justified in that.
And then the artwork, I was going to ask you, who does your artwork? Sit Down, Take a Number. I really like that cover. And then the cover for Run from the Devil. It's like, wow, who's doing this? And it's you. Yeah,
I don't draw those, but I will purchase. I have the conception of what I want to do, and then I find an image that does what I want, and then I purchase the image, and then I lay everything out. I put the backgrounds in and the lettering and all that kind of stuff. So my last 7 albums, pretty much I did all of the stuff on it.
Okay. Well, your concepts are very strong. They're very striking too.
Yeah. Well, I have to make for the face that I have. Yeah, unlike that it's striking. My face looks like it's been striked.
All day.
So
Yeah.
so you got the rhythm and blues album in the books. What are you working on next?
Probably going to be an acoustic album, I think. Acoustic primary. I'm kicking around a couple ideas for a thematic one. Yeah, but I have to gestate it in my head to see if I can pull it off. One concept I would do is I want to have all story songs about people that are kind of either famous or kind of flew under the radar, you know. So like I did the song about a couple albums ago on John Wesley Hardin, and that was interesting to do, and I'd like to do the research on him and stuff. And there's a lot of fascinating people that people don't know about or have kind of been forgotten. So either that or maybe have some things about towns that are unique and stuff. That's a concept that's, whether that comes to fruition or I just end up writing a bunch of independent songs, I don't know. But we'll kind of see where that goes. You know, like I'll have a concept album, like, I don't know if you've ever heard the All Folked Up Volume 3 album of mine.
Run that title by me again. I like it.
It's All Folked Up Volume 3. There was not a Volume 1 or 2.
Wow.
It's kind of like a do you remember the Mighty Wind or the it's like a mockumentary thing. It's supposedly, and there's a booklet inside it that has, I made up all these different backgrounds of the people who supposedly wrote these songs, but I wrote them obviously. But so there, and what I was doing is playing around with the different things of folk. So there's a song, you know, The Girl from Ipanema. There is a Brazilian one that it's called The Boy from Fargo. And there's a whole background about the guy who wrote it. There's a song about a rodeo, my baby's in love with a rodeo clown, and that's a country swing. And then there's a protest song that's protesting protesters, very meta, about get off my lawn. You guys are parked on my lawn protesting and stuff. So it's kind of stuff like that that plays around with the concept. There's a tango on there called the Mangled Tango. It's about how hard the tango is on your body, how you're close. You think it's a wonderful display, but fortunately you're not close enough to spell my Bengay kind of thing. So it's kind of playing around with that whole concept.
You're somewhat of a concept visionary, I would say. You got some good ideas. Let me switch tracks for just a second here. Movies. Are there any movies, Dave, like musical movies or music theme movies, or any movies that, you know, in your top 2 or 3? What might those be? You ever watch movies?
The Godfather is one of the greats, not only from a cinematography thing, but from a storyline. And there's a great, by the way, I think it's on Paramount or one of them. It's about the making of it. The Offer, I think it's called. It's a great thing about the backstory about how that was made. About that was made on no budget at all, and they had to fight to make it and stuff. It's pretty interesting.
And that's called The Offer?
I think it's called The Offer, yeah.
All right. Yep.
I highly recommend that. It's like a six episode series, mini series and stuff. Miles in it and stuff. It's very, very good. It's about how Francis Ford Coppola had to fight to get stuff in there, and how they didn't want Marlon Brando in the movie because he was being troublesome at the time to everybody.
Yeah.
It's very fascinating to me.
I've heard about it. Yeah. Give me one more, and then we'll close up shop and close the barn door.
Well, let's see what else would be a great movie that I would like. Yeah, you know, it's hard to pick one or two.
Yeah.
I have cult movies that I really like that are just goofy. I wouldn't say they're the best movies ever, but they're so out there that they're kind of fun. Like Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh yeah.
And I like a lot of I'm very into the sci-fi stuff too, so I enjoy all that stuff. I think the new Guardians of the Galaxy is really fun and good, but I wouldn't consider it the best movie I saw. Trying to pull a great movie.
Dave, the Airplane movie, the original, just turned 40, I think. Remember if you remember that was a good, that was a funny, yeah. I love that kind of stuff.
Nielsen, that was a parody too.
Yeah.
Zucker and Zucker who did that, I think. The
Yeah.
Zucker brothers.
You're right.
Oh, they did? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, they had a couple of them like that too. But yeah, with stop calling me Shirley.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Leslie Nelson. Yeah.
Nielsen.
Nielsen, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my man. Well, where can people find your music? And just when are you coming this way again soon? I hope. But where can people find your music and you watch your videos?
Yeah, well, videos you can get on my website. On my YouTube channel, Dave Rudolph. Remember, RUDOLF, as in fantastic. I'm not PH. I'm not PH balanced.
Right.
So YouTube, Dave Rudolph, and there's over 100 videos on there now,
Okay.
including the thing of the pilot of me as Captain Kangaroo in 1994 or
Oh,
95.
wow.
So there's a short video of that on there too. If you want to see me in a captain's.
I do. Yeah.
Then if my website is www.daverudolph.com,
All right.
which has a lot of stuff on it, or Bandcamp or iTunes. You can get if you just search me on Bandcamp or iTunes, you can buy them. And whether you buy my music or anything, but buy artists' music, because it's really the only way we make any money. We don't make any money on things like streaming, that's for sure. You make 0.003 cents per play on.
Oh, yeah.
All
All right, my man. Keep.
Bucks there, baby.
That's
Yeah,
right,
there you go.
baby.
They
Well,
add up.
Hey, Dave, Super Dave, keep running from the devil, and we look forward to seeing you again, my friend.
Hey, thank you so much for having me on. It was great talking to you guys again.